I mean, that again, like I absolutely love skateboarding to death. Like I seriously, I don't know where I'd be without it. It's something every day that I look forward to. I mean, it's seriously like instinctual now. Like I've done it for so many years. It's like when you skate, you almost start thinking about other things and have clarity on other problems because of how much you've skated before. You know, so again, like I look forward to it every day. But you know, I am a competitor. You know, and I really enjoy competition, and I do enjoy like the pressure of like competing for your country. Like I do enjoy that, you know, from like where my family was, like, you know, how my family is with just watching gymnastics all those years, and both my parents being Olympic level competitors in gymnastics. And that was all I heard about, you know? So when that came to fruition to skateboarding, I was like, oh my gosh, like this feels so comfortable, you know, because I do love street skating, and I do love that creative outlet. I do. It's just, it's hard to maintain that and also try to do park and street. You know, it's hard to like maintain street footage because, man, like you go through, there's so many different injuries that happen through street and park. There's just very different.
What are the differences?
The differences is like, is for me, it's like if I were to say just your ankles alone in street, you're hot pocketing your ankles.
That was the end of my
in street, you're hot pocketing your ankles.
Wait,
and
what's
in
hot
park,
pocketing?
Hot pocketing is when you land like this.
Oh,
hot pocket. Yeah. And in park, because you're wearing pads, you're overextending.
Oh.
So it's your shins. So you're like, it's upper ankle sprain and posterior tendon tears. And you just go back and forth.
Are you a sports tape guy or anything like that?
No, I mean, I try to not tape that much.
You need the full mobility.
Yes. Yeah, I need the mobility, and also like the more you tape, the more you add like compression, the less your ligaments are used. So you're actually weakening your ankles, which is, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, but I do stem cells and PRP and stuff.
Heard that.
Olympic competitor here.
Yeah.
When you were working on tricks, like when it was like when you were like really in the competition era of your career, were you thinking like when you were on the vert working on tricks that you wanted to put them in competition, or were you just thinking about?
No, they were always
for contests.
Keep my back pocket for contests.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
okay.
It really wasn't until the 90s kind of video generation where it was like, oh, yeah, I could just do this once and get it on video and be done with it. But also, there were no competitions then. So we weren't striving for that anymore. But I also I like to have, especially new stuff, I like to have that as a backup for a demo or something. Mm-hmm. You know?
Okay.
Where it's like, oh, I do have this new thing, and maybe I'll try one and see if I get close, and if I get close, I'll follow through with it.
Yeah.
I remember you always had new ones at the end of your ride, and I feel like I didn't realize this until...
Well, that was always the strategy. It was like, get a couple of good runs in. I mean, we all know that.
Yeah, but
you want to get one on the board. You know, you want to score something.
Yeah.
Okay, and then build on that. And then if you build on that, then you got a third or fourth run.
Right.
Try everything.
Right. I always didn't realize until later that you didn't get scored as fairly as others, because they were like, well, we saw you do that.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, but if you saw him do it, no one else can do it still, so why are you downplaying the 7? Because you know that he can. It seems like every contest he does the 7 pretty easy.
But that's the same thing with like you know, when you see what he's doing for the park and the Olympics. Right. It's hard to hide anything, and all the judges are all there, hanging out, and so they've seen what you're capable of in the most difficult way, right? They've seen you're actually best of the best, and so if you don't do that, they're like, yeah, but we saw him do that. You know, blunt frontside kickflip. Like, what you talk? Why wasn't that there?
Yeah, it's like the innovation curse is what I like to call it. It's. I think for me too, when I bring a new trick on the scene or I'm working on in the park, my whole thing is I'm always thinking about like the big events, right? Like for me, it's like the SLS Super Crown or X Games or like the Olympics, right? So my head's like, okay, I want to compete this trick before that moment. Yeah. Like I want to see how I do this trick under pressure, because whether I landed or not, I'll know where my mind was at that moment, and I can recreate that in the park and work on it. And then when I really need it, I got it down. You know, so I think that now it's just it's very similar to what you did as well. When you add you'd get runs on the board and then add to like the last trick in the run, and feel how it is, right?
But it's the same thing. Is you want to know that you're able to land it because of your own directive, not because it's the big show.
Yes.
It's the big, because if you have that, then you have those tricks at any given time.
Yes.
Have you ever done the trick, know you can do the trick, but not do it in practice because the judges might see it, and if you do it later on and it's more of a surprise? Because I think you did that, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's what I was saying, is that the judges are they're all around in all the practice sessions. So if Jagger's on point and he's doing his hardest stuff, they're like, oh, that's the measure that we're going to judge by now.
There's only one time I've ever done that, which is funny. It's only one time I've ever done that. Because I mean, I've always believed that the judges kind of know who's going to win before the event.
If they make
like
it
if they're watching the practices and they're watching everybody go, no one's gonna, most of the time, like miracles, like crazy outrageous runs aren't gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna, like, what you're gonna see is what you're gonna get in practice, especially at these Olympic events, because they hold so much importance. But the one time it happened was in the World Championships in Dubai this time last year, and it was flick back nose blunt, and I added that in my park run. And I didn't do that. I didn't do that beforehand at all. And it was kind of a Hail Mary because I landed.
You have done it.
Yeah, I have done it before, but I did not do it in practice or the times before at all. I just kind of pulled it out.
Yeah, but I mean that's what it takes, and
yeah,
that's what set you apart.
Yeah, I mean, to be quite
but
frank,
also,
though, I hate that.
It shouldn't have so much weight.
Yes.
To the judges.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. But they'd never seen it, and they may think that it was the first time ever done. And it's like, well, then give them 5 more points, and it's a curse and a blessing, absolutely. But that's, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Way better strategy. Like, my strategy was like, if you land good, go for something you've never done before and blow minds.
How'd that work out?
Yeah, I'm a hidden character in one of Tony's video games. So that's how it worked out.
It worked.
It worked. No, it didn't.
No?
He didn't.
What do you mean? That's not a mark of success?
You put me in the video game because I put you under pressure on the radio to put me in the video game. You know what got me
we all
in
have
the
different
video
paths
game?
to success.
I feel like what got me in the video game is my mouth at the bar after the contest. But Tony was like, hey, man, you're kind of funny. And then it was like, hey, man, you want to be on the radio show with me? And then it was like, the radio show got big, and I was like, hey, man, you got the second game coming out. Like, I'm your homie. What's up? And he was like, dude, all right.
Success is success, dude.
Yeah.
But
if it hadn't worked, Jagger, would have been so much cooler than you guys, because they knew you could do it, but I didn't know I could do it, neither did they. But it turns out I couldn't do it. But man, I got close a couple times. I remember landing, I was like, just fuck it. As soon as I landed good, I was like, this is it. Right now, this is the kickflip McTwist. You'll make it for sure this time. Have I practiced it? No. Have I got close? No. But I am amped up. And my blood is heated. And God damn it, if my hand gets that board, it is going down. It never went down.
I mean, but the truth is, like, recreating that moment of feeling that hype, you can't do that when you're just practicing. Like, you can't do that when you're just at the vert with your friends.
That's the discipline and the training that you're talking about, where
exactly
you can unlock it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes a lot
of time.
of time.
That's super rare, and that is something you have in droves. Yeah. But I mean, I've seen you, like, I've seen you compete, and I've seen you lock in where it's just like, dude, he's got every trick. Like, all of these are just checking boxes.
We were talking before you got here, and he was saying, like, I'm here to win medals for my country, and I was like, that is a competitor's mind.